Call the regular scheduled board meeting to order. Let the record show that all the aldermen are present except for Alderman Burgess. This time, Mr. Papania will lead us in the invocation. Mr. Wade will lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
Stand, please. Bow our heads, please. Lord God in heaven above, we thank you for allowing us to meet here tonight in this great city of Ocean Springs. May this board and this meeting tonight make the right decisions for all the citizens of this Ocean Springs. Father, we've just enjoyed the 4th of July, our Day of Independence. We should all be thankful for the freedoms that we have enjoyed throughout the years. And we especially pray for the men and women who have died throughout the years to give us this freedom. God be with them. God bless us all. For all these things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
accept the agenda, Mr.
Motion by Mr. Impey, a second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We've got a couple of items to take care of here. We've got some service awards I'd like to hand out. First one is 5 years of dedication to the City of Ocean Springs Parks and Rec. Amy Burnley.
Right. Like a lot of Thank you.
5 years of dedication and loyalty to the City of Ocean Springs Fire Department. Caleb Cost. 5 years of dedication, commitment, and loyalty to the City of Ocean Springs Municipal Court Clerk James Martin.
Working.
Slave driver. 5 years of dedication, commitment, and loyalty to the City of Ocean Springs Parks and Rec Mario Prayer. 5 years of dedication, commitment, and loyalty to the City of Ocean Springs Public Works, electrician William Ziz. On vacation. He's on vacation. 47 years. Dedication, commitment, and loyalty to the City of Ocean Springs Public Works Department, street laborer Frank Shockley. And then something a little extra. Bobby, won't you come on back here?
So I am on the hot seat. Good.
All the top family. I know y'all can come. We try to teach us to hit the same thing. Whereas Robert Earl Cox Sr. was born September 5th, 1932 in New Orleans to Harold and Elise Cox. He graduated from Ocean Springs High School in 1952 before serving in the Air Force for 4 years. And whereas while attending Ocean Springs High School, Robert was voted Mr. Ocean Springs High School for his excellence in football, baseball, and basketball, as well as his contributions as a yearbook editor and school plays. Whereas Robert spent 4 years stationed in Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico before returning home to Ocean Springs to work at Ingalls Shipbuilding. 2 years later, in 1958, he opened Cox's Barbershop, which he owned and operated until his retirement in 2004. And whereas Robert was a faithful public servant, spending 8 years as city alderman and alderman at large, serving as a charter member of the Knights of Columbus Council 5654, and even volunteering as a firefighter where he saved a baby's life during Hurricane Camille in 1969. Whereas he leaves behind not only a loving family, but an entire community, from his time playing and coaching baseball to managing the Marsh Island Golf Course and founding the Pine Island Men's Day Game. He married for 66 years to Peggy Smith Cox, raising 5 daughters, Susan Cox Dollar, Cheryl Cox Farhoon, Susan Cox Dollar, Nan Cox Fountain, Pam Cox Farrell, and son Robert E. Bobby Cox Jr. Peggy and Robert enjoyed 14 grandchildren, 17 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. Now, therefore, I, Kenny Holloway, Mayor of Ocean Springs, hereby celebrate the life of Robert Earl Cox, a favorite son of Ocean Springs, and do hereby proclaim today, July 5th, 2023, as Robert Cox Senior Day. Bobby, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say, I've been here a little over 12 years now. And when I saw my wife and daughter walk in the door, I'm thinking, what in the world are they doing? And then Mom followed them. So this is a great thing for Dad. He loved Ocean Springs more than most. He would give the shirt off his back to anyone, and he served his city well. So thank y'all very much. This is very special for our family. Thank you. I wasn't expecting none of that.
That's why we didn't tell you.
If I knew when Lori walked in, I was in trouble.
Oh, scholarship presentation. We have Mr. Eric Bowers with Waldorf University to make a special presentation. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the city councilmen of Ocean Springs and Ocean Springsville, we thank y'all for having us. The city of Ocean Springs has partnered with our university over the last few years, so this is not my first visit here. Waldorf University is an accredited university that's based out of Fort City, Iowa, but our online programs are all over the world to include 7 other different countries. So this presentation, this scholarship presentation today, is one of our 8 scholarships that we present throughout the year to different communities across the country. This is our Hero Behind the Hero Scholarship. The Hero Behind the Hero Scholarship, we do 4 for military and 4 for public service. Of course, this one is public service. Thanks to Chief Derek McCoy and his commitment as a well ambassador, alumni of this university, including a few of his firefighters who also obtained their degree. I am one of the educational representatives and the adjunct professor for organizational leadership. So this scholarship is our Hero Behind the Hero Scholarship. Is going to a public service spouse, and that spouse is Ms. Vicki Humpty. Did I say it right? So while Vicki's coming down with her scholarship, her application went up against 30 other spouses across the country, to include 4 international spouses, and she outbeat them all. Her essay was on point. We just had a problem trying to get your name right. So we had to call Brian, and she said, "How do you pronounce your name?" She didn't know she was getting this today, right?
I did not.
So, yeah, we had no clue, and we like to do these presentations in front of the peers and in front of the city council to let you guys know, hey, your staff, your people in your community, they're continuing their education to help better the community and their families. So on behalf of Waldorf University, President Alsop, and myself as the scholarship chairperson, we'd like to present you this full scholarship. It's not a partial scholarship. This is a full ride. But you got to maintain that GPA. Right? So thank you very much. And here's your certificate. And it says Waldorf University, in honor of outstanding achievement, we gladly present Vicki Johnson with the hero behind the hero scholarship and testimony where, therefore, we have affixed our signature and the seal of the University of June 2023. And Mr. Mayor, there will be a press release. We've done a press release through the city and throughout the state of Iowa as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Vicki.
Congratulations.
Well, that's all the surprises we have tonight.
Wonder why that wasn't.
We have a public hearing to request approval of a zoning change from RMH Mobile Home Park District to the CH Regional Commercial District at 3419 Bienville Boulevard, parcel number 60127491.050. Planning Commission recommends approval and adopt required ordinance. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So move, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Aldermen. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Carolyn?
Yeah, just if you can scroll down to the zoning map one. This piece of property, as described in your memo, is made up of, it was previously made up of several different parcels that were combined together, so they had different zoning. So this would, most of the mobile home, the previous Twin Pines mobile home is gone, and there's still a few left, but that's changing. So the request really is just to change those parcels previously used for mobile home to be consistent with the rest of the southern part of the property and make the entire parcel commercial regional. That was, it was presented, and the Planning Commission did make the finding to recommend approval of both the rezoning and the required ordinance.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak for or against the rezoning change? Does anybody at the board have any questions?
Make a motion, we come out of public hearing, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox, come out of public hearing.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve or deny?
I'll make the motion to approve zoning change from RMH district to CH district, 3419 Dealing Boulevard, parcel number 601-27491.050 as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Got a motion by Mr. Blackman.
Second that motion.
Second by Mr. Cox. Any further discussion? Need a roll call.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum of 30 minutes, only regarding issues on this agenda. The board will take all comments under advisement for potential action if warranted. Please identify yourself and the agenda item you're here to speak about when you approach the podium. Anybody want to make a comment on an agenda item? Okay. Moving on to old business, authorize the planning and grants administrator to obtain appraisals for the city attorney and the city attorney to draft the lease related to the license to encroach for Kilwins at 711 Washington Avenue. This just came up about, I guess, two months ago, and I spoke with the owner of Kilwins last week. I expressed my concerns about this, and I told him, what my concerns were. It's not what Kilwins will do as an encroachment there, because they've done a fine job in Ocean Springs. They've been a good partner with the city in the short time they've been here. But I was in a seminar last week at MML that Carolyn was in, and so was Vicki, and it was talked about this type of lease agreement on public property, and what the attorney said in there is once you do one of these, you kind of bind yourself to do future ones, and if you don't, then there might be some ramifications legally going forward. And again, I don't have any doubt that even though I don't think I've seen the plans, I don't have any doubt about what Kilwins will do, but I don't know if we want to set a precedence of allowing encroachments onto city property on anywhere, government, Washington, Porter, wherever they might happen. They are currently encroaching somewhat with the sidewalk, which is similar to what the office has done across the street. They do not have a lease there. So anyway, that's just my opinion. I couldn't recommend this thing, but like I say, I really don't have a vote, but that's just my opinion of it.
So precedence is the precedence has already really been set because the office has had a lease on a sidewalk for how many years now? 2000.
Well, yeah.
And nobody else has come to the board wanting that. And and I agree, Kilwins has done a really good job with not only opening a business in Ocean Springs, but his attendance and his drive to partner with other businesses in the city, including the chamber for the Red, White, and Blue Festival. I think he's showed a lot of dedication for the city. A lot of people say that our downtown is bar related basically, and we have an opportunity to allow a family oriented business to be able to have a little bit of space in front of their place for their kids and for the families to sit down and have ice cream. So while this board does have the discretion not to approve everything that people request, I think that what they're requesting is reasonable, and I think that I pass by there all the time, and I see people standing on the side of the fenced area because they don't have any room for tables for people for their families to sit down. So I'm for this. I put it on the agenda to ask the board for approval to go out for this. I think that me being alderman of downtown, I understand downtown. I understand what's happening downtown, and I just don't see it being a problem.
I respect what Mr. Altman is saying, and I respect what you're saying, Ricky. I'm opposed to this from the standpoint of, as the mayor said, we start this slippery slope of going down this rabbit hole. We allow them, and who is next? It may be a business we're not in tune with, things of that nature. And we have a beautiful downtown with beautiful oak trees, and once we start encroaching them with all kinds of other things that will come out toward the street, I can't see that. We're going to destroy what we have on Government Street. I realize you're the alderman there, but we also represent the wishes of the whole city. And the office, yes, the office was there, but that was done by a prior board. And this is a present board, and we're making the decision today. And I can't see, and I do not support allowing them to encroach upon the oak trees or the area that we have, what little area that's left there. And so I'm opposed to that idea because, like I said, as the mayor said, that once you start this, we can't stop it.
It's already started.
I agree with you. But
Well,
we can buck up right now.
Carolyn can explain the differences of what has happened and what this poses.
For those who, it wasn't a group board, but I remember when the office happened, they had built their building at the same time that two other things were happening. We did the streetscape project where we were doing the sidewalk, and ABC was requiring any outdoor beverages to be fenced in. So they were in a predicament of needing to fence in an area and block the sidewalk. It was a little bit different because their building comes all the way up to their property line. So that was the concession that was made, as we kind of incorporated that into the streetscape project as far as moving our sidewalk out and doing the lease. We have had people come through planning and want to do it before, and then we told them what the process would have to be and that they really needed to show some sort of hardship of why they needed to use the area. Those requests just never came to the board. They didn't pursue that. In this case, the sidewalk was required to be put where it was for ADA purposes, and that we can kind of understand. So there's two layers. There's the sidewalk that's existing, and their request would put decking out on either side of the tree to allow for some more seating. So, but like the mayor said, if there's no specific hardship or something that's very unique to that circumstances for you to allow it, it can set the precedent going forward that you just, there is no precedent, there's no litmus test that needs to be met or some sort of condition that needs to be presented. Similar to what we do for variances, you have to show a hardship.
So we did it for an owner for a bar to be able to have people sit outside and have drinks, but we can't do it for.
I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to clarify that that's the finding. It would need to be made. Now, in their case, it was something that was happening already. They had two tables outside, and in order to keep them, because ABC was requiring them to put a fence around it, which would have blocked the sidewalk, we did that to move the sidewalk. I'm not saying that there's I'm just trying to clarify the situations that have happened before. But for no reason or just saying, yeah, because we like the idea, it could create that slippery slope.
Well, I was concerned initially about the trees, but after speaking with Mr. Henry Farrer, and they let it be known they're not going to damage the roots of the trees. They're going to try their best not to touch any of that. I think the hardship is go downtown and look at the business. They're booming. They've got them standing in the road, in the driveway. I think it could, I'd consider that a hardship. No space for their business. And their investment in this city, I think we need to stand with them and back it up. I understand what the mayor's talking about. It could be a slippery slope, but I don't know too many other spots unless they want to put a 2-foot deck out that's left.
And that's, I guess, what I'm saying is it's some sort of unique condition to this property
For downtown.
that makes you believe that, not just because they have a lot of business, because everybody can say that, but something unique to their property, such as the sidewalk or the presence of the tree or something. I'm just clarifying the conversation that we had.
The plans for the deck, have they changed in any way that we saw the drawings from before, Ricky? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Not to my knowledge. The plans didn't show the tree, but other than that, bringing the deck forward.
Were they talking about on both sides of the tree or just the one side?
I understand with both sides. Is that correct? Both sides?
Yes.
Okay.
I still find it very intolerable that we're going to cover the roots of a tree and go all the way out to the street with a cover for a business. I understand the business. I understand their need to make money. I understand where we're going with this, but at some point in time, we're going to destroy what we've got on Ocean Springs, on Washington Avenue. If we keep covering up stuff like this, we'll wind up, we've got some, I'm not going to bring it up, we've got some other things that look pretty doggone cheap looking on Washington Avenue.
It's not going to be a cheap project.
I'm not going to bring it.
And people build decks over trees in their backyards, and probably
This is not the backyard.
30%. It doesn't matter. I mean, the trees live.
Street of Ocean Springs. At what point in time do we kill these trees and we?
Oh, you're an arborist.
Might as well become go-kart or something.
Regardless of all that, I would like to hear from Mr. Wilkinson.
Hardship is a very subjective term. I would be a little bit fearful if, because a business has been successful and outgrown its current location, that would be considered a hardship. If it is, I'm not sure what would not be. I do not know if we have any ordinance that sets the standard for if you can encroach on our sidewalk. In other words, how much room, or is there anything out there that says we'll approve it if it fits this design but not the other? So if not, I think there are legitimate fears that hardship, anyone could come in and claim, well, I have a hardship.
So what was the hardship of the office? I mean, I'm curious to know what that one was.
I mean, I wasn't involved in that conversation, and I don't know the details that they had, but I can tell you the situation was they had already built and designed their property with the overhang and had tables out there when ABC they weren't enforcing that and requiring the
Well,
fencing prior to.
if you recall on this,
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just.
if you recall on this location, when they had to move the sidewalk because the post was right there in the ADA, it was not ADA compliant.
Right, that was part of it.
So when they moved the sidewalk out, they're actually encroaching right now on public property, somewhat. So I think that's, similar to what went on with the office. They have an area where they wanted people to sit, which is what Kilwins does, and then they moved the sidewalk out in front of the building. So actually, that's I think it's already there with the office and Kilwins are matching each other right now as far as encroachment for sidewalk.
If the office
Now, if
had a
you wanna-
hardship for drinks on the sidewalk or in a public space, and I think that ice cream is.
This happened years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
findings were made, I wasn't involved in it.
Well, like I say, if there's a motion, let's make a motion and see what happens. But I'm not comfortable
I said
with
the
it.
reason
But
it
like I
came
say,
back
that's
was
just my opinion.
needing the direction. to
I'll
get
make
the
a motion.
Wait, I said
Yeah,
I'm making a motion already.
Go for it.
I make a motion to authorize the planning and grants administrator to obtain appraisals and the city attorney to draft the lease related to the license taken purchased by Kilwins at 711 Washington.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Aldermen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cox. Let's just do a roll call here since this is.
Aye.
Aye. Nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye. Okay, motion carries 4-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Yeah, 4-2. All right, moving on to new business. Authorize an advertisement, the request for proposal for disaster debris removal services and appoint members to evaluation committee. Patty, this year?
This would be the big trucks that would be coming in. This would be the contract that would get us set up in case we had another thing like Zeta happen. And we would still continue to run our staff and work our staff beside it. This would just be offset if it was big enough that we had that need. We would need an evaluation committee once they're open. That's why it's up under new business and not under consent.
With our contract that we currently have with MAPCO, was there a renewal?
We never had a contract really with NAPCO because we weren't set up before the storm. Yeah, we just.
That was a
yes,
permanent contract.
Yeah.
Okay, so we couldn't just move forward with that.
He would be, able to put in for this, yes.
And what about the monitoring?
The monitoring was, it's next.
Same thing, though?
Yeah,
I mean,
and they would
same,
be open and the same committee could review them.
okay.
Anything else?
Well, I guess,
Need a
I
motion?
guess I could entertain a 3-person evaluation committee.
I'd be more than willing to serve on that.
And I think Vicki had figured out when they would need to be opened. I would be happy to, stay and work with you guys at night. If some of you want to do it at night or whatever.
Any volunteers?
I'll serve on it.
And I'll do it.
Bobby, Ricky,
No.
and Rob.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you guys.
I make a motion that we authorize city clerk to advertise for a request for proposal for debris disaster removal services and appoint members to the evaluation committee as stated.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Authorized to advertise for RFP for disaster debris monitoring services and appoint members to the evaluation committee. Patty?
Same thing? No. It's just the monitoring piece of it, and it has been enough years since we had debris tech. They will probably put in again, but just time to, once these contracts here, we will be able to run these for 3 years and just make sure the money doesn't go away each year, once we get settled in.
Well, why don't you,
You want to appoint those members yourself?
I think the three that's gonna do the other, let's do it all at once,
Same
unless
committee.
somebody else wants to serve.
Okay, same group? Okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, the motion,
Motion to authorize advertise for RFP for disaster debris monitoring services and appoint members to the evaluation committee.
by motion by Mr. Blackman,
Second.
second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Letter of recommendation and certified bid tab for Fort Marapaugh Stage cover project. The bid is $482,000. Project is funded by capital expense through the legislature. So everybody knows, we talked about this enough, what the thing looks like. And Carolyn, you have any comments? Sarah? Anyway, is there a motion to award the Fort Marapaugh Stage cover project to Hopkins Construction and Management LLC for $482,420? Moved by Mr. Arthemont, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Letter of recommendation and certified bid tab to Coney Roof Project. Is there a motion to approve it? This is for $621,000, and this is also funded through, was this CapEx or GCRF? It was CapEx, and that's capital expense for people who don't realize. So is there a motion to award the Coney Roof Project to Roofing Solutions LLC for $621,400?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox,
Second.
second by Mr. Arthemont. Are you voting on this, Rob? Are you abstaining or are you voting?
You got any reason to abstain?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Letter of recommendation to and certified bid tab term bid contract for water, sewer, and drainage projects 2023. Is there a motion to award the term bid contract and for water, sewer, and drainage projects 2023 to Graham Construction, Inc. and alternate bottom to top construction LLC?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Blackman. There's a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda. Is there anything to be pulled from the consent agenda?
Item H is in Henry.
H, under Human Resources. Okay. Anything else?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item H.
We got a motion by Mr. Impey.
I do have, hang on one second. Had, O, that's in department, never mind. No, grants administrator. Oh, pull item O.
With the exception of item H in it.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Item H.
Item H, Chief asked me to insert some wording into this. It's authorized promotion of patrolman Cody Gill to interim or acting sergeant instead of just two sergeant. This is an interim position.
Got a motion, Mr. Blackman,
Second.
second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item O.
Item O.
I just had a question there, Mayor. We're making a motion to rescind an award that we received in 19 for the East Beach sidewalk.
That's correct.
And the reason is the sidewalk is being enlarged and the project's going to change, and going back through the procedure of doing all that just takes forever.
Well, it takes forever, but it's more the funding source. MDOT projects are typically 3 times more for the size project because of their requirements, and we did secure alternate funding through Tidelands, and we're working with the county to utilize their Restore It funds.
Okay.
So that will be a combined project for the full length.
Full length too, remember that.
Right, full length, and it'll take about the same time because we can go ahead and start the permitting process with our Tidelands and complete with their Restore. So to go back through MDOT and Federal Highway for a sidewalk is just not worth it.
And to redirect them funds to another project would be
Well, we
too much
can't,
trouble.
with MDOT, we can't redirect, we just, but it does free up money in the TIF as far as the ability to
Reapply.
award, and so someone else can use it. But yeah, we kind of knew we were going to do it, but we waited till we had the other funding secured to take official action.
Okay,
It'll actually help the project.
I did not have time to ask you that before. All right, I make a motion, we approve item O.
Okay, motion by Mr. Cox. Second by Mr. Papania. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're going to move the agenda around a little bit. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to go into closed session to determine the need to go into executive session.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Mr. Aldermen. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Board is in closed session. We're going to take a break here, go in the back, and then come back out and finish the rest of the agenda in a few minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Joe.
Hey,
Joe.
Turn your mics
I
off.
was gonna call him about that.
Yeah, there's,
I'm good with it. Item O. Hey.
You want to questions of, and the board find out what happened. You okay with it? Somebody has plans to come up with a objective. In other words, it meets it if it's this, but if it's not this, we can say no. You got what I'm saying? So there may be one that doesn't work at all, but if we don't have a standard, how do we say no? I know. I'm just thinking, because what I'm worried about is that guy that comes in here that has one that we don't want, and he says, what's and we say,
It's been a while. Yeah, I've done 11. I think I'm tired of it.
I said, no, you don't give that money.
I was asking if
Yeah.
Can I get a job? Yeah. They got them all in it too?
I gotta pass it. They always come home to find them. It's a high, but this time they find them. Open the yeah.
Catches about 300 a good month.
Yeah, I don't know. Anytime one of the cats got out. house across where we are. Partially because he knows how I'll react.
Yeah, exactly.
And partially he's, you know, he's lucky. They do, not because they don't go anywhere, but it's one of the games and, so it's like you have to walk in and look for it. They're not, if we left it open, they just want to go explore, but they can go outside on the. I would have said that. You know, so they can get fresh air. Fresh air. Decking, screened in porch, so they can go in and out with a flap in the window as they. Yeah. There's a lot of feral animals. Every once in a while, you see coyotes. Mostly they're down from like the Parkway to the Shearwater area. Yeah.
I was like, don't you
Yeah.
I don't really hear, but every once in a while,
I'm not long after I knew about it, sitting on the porch at night, and yeah, just trot down like, well, that's a weird little dog. Oh, that's a coyote.
Oh.
About a week.
No, you haven't.
I mean, honestly, when we were in the middle, so they get come down from the. I'm like,
Yeah, they were in, you know.
and so I guess that's most of I don't like.
Yeah, I've been talking to me and Erica best friends.
So it's like,
Nice
let's
guy.
go.
I know, but I could have
Stay
not.
healthy.
I would have told her more sexual problems. Not much. Go home and change.
Yeah, so I just.
I'm looking at
Yourself now, she don't even dug up a mound. Only thing about it.
If you,
Hear back on me. What about that stuff I sent you the other day? Did you ever hear out of Brad? I was looking up at something. River Park. State Park. All right, let's back up.
I'm the only one in here.
I'm not worried about that. I'll see you. They're widening the road for the water about last week.
Take care of the animals, so they can be temporarily home, and then some that is in the.
They sent me some drawings. It was like a page that big.
Wonder what
Page that
cartoon
big,
it was
and it
now.
shrunk it down and put it on a
She's
phone.
learning from the
Just kidding.
and
So this
I couldn't
20-minute
read it. So I emailed it to her. She can print these bigger copies.
and a boo boo.
to where you never come out of it.
And she wants to know who's on the water.
So for hours at a time. They got no care. Now, Sarah's gone back. I think she's in a lioness. She's, I can't remember how old, but she's up there. And whoever had her, I think that. Health problems.
Did you really?
Yeah, but I applied for two. And I didn't realize I didn't get it. I didn't get it for this.
Get the new subdivision. We're ready for you.
You ready?
Yeah. You gotta turn on your mic.
You know, I gotta think about what I'm saying.
Write it down.
Sort of. Motion made by Bobby Cox, seconded by Ken Papania to stay in executive session to get an update on litigation. They will be back out.
Ms. Gass, are we gonna have another executive session?
We're not.
They couldn't have waited till the end of the meeting.
We have an item on the agenda.
I noticed.
I'm in it.
Yes.
Is your grandmother okay?
She looks pretty rough.